One of the biggest misconceptions we see amongst business owners is they need to work hard and long hours to succeed and make money in business, and it's simply not true. Hello, my name is Barry William Nuggetity, and I'm the CEO and founder of The Game Changers, and we help our clients to triple their profits and double their time off in 12 months or less. And over the years, we've met a lot of different business owners who believe they need to work hard, they need to work long hours to succeed in business and to make money, and it's simply not true. And I want to share with you today some key fundamentals around the different logical levels of change that you must go through as a business owner to ensure that you not only make money, but you actually have the time off to enjoy your business and your life again. The first thing I want to touch on is this concept that was first brought to my attention by Michael Gerber, who wrote The E-Myth. And it's a concept around the four stages that you need to transition through as a business owner. And I want to give you an overview of what they are and then kind of go back and go into them a little bit deeper. The first stage is the stage of the technician. And so essentially when you're in the technician phase, you carry the same resonance as that of an employee. You're very good at doing something in particular, and so maybe that's why you go into business and you become the technician. You become very good at delivering that product or that service or that widget to your customers, consumers. However, if you don't start to transition to the next stage, being the manager, you'll get stuck being a one-man band, working for an hourly rate and never being able to scale your business and essentially having a job which is high risk and imagine not what you've gone to business for in the first place. So the second step I mentioned before is manager. And the manager is very different to technician because the managers are all about managing other technicians. You've brought some technicians into the business who are good at delivering certain aspects. Maybe they're aspects that you yourself are not good at delivering. Or it might be things like doing your bookkeeping, it might be things like doing marketing or sales. But you start to manage them, and managing is very much around a head methodology. And what I mean by that is you're overseeing KPIs, you're overseeing management of process and systems, and really the engines that drive the business from a logical and theoretical perspective. In order to transition to the next phase though, which is into being a leader, it's one of the hardest transitions you need to make because in a manager, you're still very much involved day to day. You still very much have a hands-on approach to doing what you're doing. Yet in a leadership position, it becomes very different because it's about building your people. It becomes a lot more around who you are and how you're showing up from a heart perspective rather than from a logical and brain perspective, and how you can influence your people to get the best performance out of them. You're less hands-on, you're less overseeing things like your P&L report and your debtors and your marketing and sales activity. It's more around growing the people and empowering your people to perform in their respective roles. If you manage to successfully get into the leadership position, the next position you should be going for is the position of the entrepreneur. Now, the difference between leader and entrepreneur is the entrepreneur is free from the operational constraints of their business, and they're very much thinking about vision, the future, 10 years in advance. If we go from a time perspective, the technician is thinking about things from an hour-to-hour, day-to-day perspective. The manager is thinking about things from a day-to-day, week-to-week perspective. The leader is thinking about things from a week-to-week and a month-to-month perspective. And the entrepreneur is thinking about things from a year-to-year, century-to-century perspective. And so the reason I want to share with you around these four kind of key things is because a lot of the times we see business owners wearing way too many hats. Now, they're not so much the hat of the technician or the manager or the leader or the entrepreneur, but they're the hat of the bookkeeper, the salesperson, the marketing person, the person who delivers a product or service. They're also, the one running the errands and maybe picking up supplies and so forth. And they're wearing all these different hats all the time. Yet often they're wearing these hats at a loss to the business. Because there's an old saying, and that is that poor people spend time to save money, whereas wealthy people spend money to save time. So the first tip I want to give you is if you're doing all these different things right now in your business, go through and audit your time. Make a list of all the different things you're doing in your business right now, how long those things are taking you to do, how often they're taking you to do, and whether or not it needs to be you doing them, or whether or not you can look to delegate them to another team member or outsource them to somebody outside of your organization. Because quite often when we see a lot of business owners do is they're doing their own books. And when we look at assessing what their hourly rate is north of $100 per hour. And yet you can find a bookkeeper for anywhere between $25, $30, $35, even $40, $45 an hour, which is still a lot less than what your charge out rate is. So rather than you being the one that does your books, which most likely, unless you absolutely love it, most likely takes you a lot longer and you don't enjoy doing, outsource it to somebody else and use that time that you've just gained back to invest back into revenue generating activities within your business. Now today I'm recording this video from the lovely Black Mountain here in Asheville, North Carolina, where for the last week and a half I've been on a meditation retreat. And I like to go away once or twice a year to meditation retreats like this. And the reason being is that many years ago when I was starting out, I realized that I was spending a lot of time to fix problems. And so something would come up with my business and all I would do is just work more hours. Cash flow was tight, I'd work more hours. Staffing were a problem, I'd fire them and work more hours. Customer service, I'd work more hours. And I was getting into this habit of just investing more time to perceivably get greater results. Yet what happened is I started to reach a limitation. I started to reach a chokehold on that because essentially we only have 24 hours in a day. We need to spend time with friends and family. We need to spend time eating, sleeping, exercising, doing those other great things so we can perform better in life. And if I kept on putting more and more of my time into my business, it meant I had more and more less time for myself and for the things that I love doing. And so that was when I started to think there must be another way of doing things. And coming away to events like this really allowed me to step back and think prospectively and strategically about my business. I'm lucky enough now I do have a business that works without me and I've got an amazing team that we've put in place. But it wasn't always like that. And the way that I got to being here was not through actually working more. So if you're currently, tip number 2 is if you're currently caught up in that perception that working more equals greater results, you need to start to question that bias and that paradigm, because that paradigm is setting you up for severe failure and is very much a paradigm that we get from being a employee, not an entrepreneur. From an employee perspective, we're conditioned and programmed into a reality, whereas if we work more hours, we get more money. If we work on the weekends, we get a higher pay. Yet as an entrepreneur, whether you work on a Monday or whether you work on a Sunday, you typically take home the same rate. So point number 2 is to start to shift that paradigm and start to look at how can I actually spend less time in my business and get greater results, which is what comes to what we call leverage. Now, I honestly believe that it's the business owner's job to be the most unreliable in the organization. Yet obviously if you're a one-man band right now, you're a one-man band or you've got a couple of staff, that's not the current state of reality for you, nor should it be. But I believe that your goal should be to become the most unreliable person in your organization, which means that you have the right systems and processes set up and the right team members set up to oversee the implementation and execution of those systems and processes so that you can become the most unreliable in your organization. The third thing I want to speak about is around strategically thinking. Far too often as business owners, we become very reactive. Something happens, a customer complains, and we just jump straight in at any cost and fix it because we want to serve the customer, we want to do the right thing. Someone requests a refund and we're very quick to maybe just process that refund. A team member is thinking about quitting, so we're very quick to go and increase their wage and so forth. You get my examples. Yet, when we're always coming from a reactive perspective, what we're having to do is, rather than look at where we want to go and look at where we're starting from, we're just seeing where we're at right now. We're making these decisions all the time that can often spin us around in loops and not get us to where we want to go. Yet when we actually spend the time to step back from our business and go, okay, well, where I want to go is up here, and where I'm starting is from here, and this challenge or issue I'm having is right here. In the bigger picture, how is this affecting the direction in which we're going? And what are the things that we need to put in place, change, stop, delegate, think differently about, that's ultimately going to see us to get up here, and make a decision from the end in mind rather than making a decision from a reactive standpoint and perspective. Now, there's certain situations that happen in life where we need to be more reactive. Let's just say you have an OH&S issue, someone falls down and cuts themselves. Of course, you've got to be quite reactive. Yet there still should be some form of strategic thinking and a process and system around how you overcome that challenge. So my third tip, piece of advice for you is to take some time out from your business, and it might be very counterintuitive to how you're feeling right now. You might be thinking, Barry, you're a douchebag. I'm working 80 hours a week. I've got more work than I can poke a stick at. I need to be working, otherwise my business doesn't work. And I get it. But if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always got. And so my suggestion is take a day off. Put the phone down, put your laptop down, and spend some time strategically thinking about your business. And when I say strategically thinking, is rather than just going, problem, what's the quickest solution? Look at problem, where is it we want to go? What are all the ways that we can solve the problem? And which are the one or two ways that within solving this problem actually move us closer to our strategic objective or our strategic goal? So rather than being reactive all the time, take some time to sit back, stop, relax, maybe go for a walk in nature, maybe just have some time outside of your day-to-day reality, without your phone, without your laptop, and think about where you're at right now, where you want to go, and what are the decisions that you need to make along the way to get there. I think that success in business doesn't come down to the right decisions that we make. It comes down to the wrong ones that we don't make. And so if you want to see your business succeed faster than ever before, stop making so many wrong decisions through being very reactive and start making fewer right decisions to see your business move forwards. That's it for this video, guys. If you're looking to understand more, or maybe you're curious about how the Game Changers have helped hundreds of clients around the world to triple their profits and double their time off through our game-changing methodology and genius model, hit us a comment, find us on one of the social channels, or even click, there might be a link below this to click and book a call with one of my team. My name is Barry William Magladidi, CEO and founder of the Game Changers. Hope you got some value. If you did, please like and comment. What did you get from this? What are you going to action as a result of watching this video? And of course, share it to other like-minded business owners and entrepreneurs who might need to hear this message as well. That's it for me. I look forward to seeing the next one. Bye for now.